everyone, my name is Roxanne Julieta Fortes and I am here to talk about how COVID-19 pandemic has affected the way we communicate. So, effective communication has always been the key to all healthy relationships. During the mandatory quarantine, many individuals are working from home with little to no face-to-face interaction, except with their families. The most obvious change are that most of us now have less face-to-face, in-person interaction with others, and when we are face-to-face, we are wearing masks. We have less interaction overall with people outside of people we live with, and we spend more time on Zoom, Skype, and other mediated platforms. A positive is that many are becoming better at using communication technologies, which may be more beneficial moving forward. It is probably more important than ever to just stay in touch with people, whether by phone, email, text, or old-fashioned letter. Getting back to normal will probably be a slow process, but it is also important to remember that what is normal changes over time even without pandemic. Social and digital media are sure to remain important for the foreseeable future, but they will not replace face-to-face interaction. The environment around us has a significant impact on what we say and how we say it. Throughout the pandemic, many of the normal social conventions have been put on the hold, altered, and changed. The coronavirus pandemic has changed the way we communicate, advised to wear facial coverings, and keep our distance from each other. We've had to find substitutes for the greetings, gestures, and other nonverbal cues we used to take for granted. When we communicate, nonverbal is everything but the actual language itself. Tone of the voice, eye contact, facial expressions, body language, all of these are nonverbal signals, and they're crucial to how humans communicate because they help us navigate our relationship with others. It's so rooted in how we understand the other person that if we have a difference between that, what we're saying, and how we're behaving non-verbally, we almost always trust the nonverbal. Nonverbal communication also encompasses space and touch, how close you get to someone, or allow them to get to you. All of this has been disrupted by the pandemic. The pandemic is accelerating young people's shifts away from nonverbal communication, which began with their heightened attention to media and technology. I believe because of COVID, we're all being pushed into an online existence. We're getting better at reading the people we live with, but we're getting a lot worse at being able to connect and read people that we still interact with, but via these technologies. The solution is getting people back together again, but the challenge is doing this safely. We need to find creative ways to have people in conversation, but in safe, socially distant spaces. Getting people into the same place where they can be interacting with one another radically increases the ability to have empathy. We should improve technology to bring it closer to the experience of in-person communication. There are a lot of places we can be going with technology that we aren't going. The more we get ahead of things and start thinking about those type of connections, the better. Communication is hard enough when things are relatively quiet in our lives, but in the midst of a crisis stress, emotion makes communication challenging and require a great deal of effort to ensure that misunderstandings are minimized. Now is the time to be flexible and adaptable when it comes to how we express ourselves to others. It's crucial we show compassion and kindness to each other as we maneuver through these changes, and most importantly, be willing to advocate for individual needs, whether they are for yourself or someone else.